Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my story. And today's story is The Seventh Seat in the Park. I hope you like the stories, and I hope you're telling your friends about them. Do pass on the message so other people can enjoy the stories with you. Georgie and Gwenny were twins. It was their seventh birthday. Now it chanced that this year the birthday fell on a Saturday, the 7th of July, which was the seventh day of the week of the seventh month of the year. It is most important to notice this because of the wonderful things that happened in consequence. Each of them had seven presents, and there was a cake with seven candles on it. Seven little cousins came to tea, and they all played in the garden till at 6 o'clock the small visitors went home. Just as the last child had gone, Uncle Bob ran in for a few minutes. "Hello, children! Many happy returns of the day," he said. "Here's a toy aeroplane for Georgie and a sailor doll for Gwenny." "Oh, thank you! That makes 8 presents each now," said Gwenny as she kissed Uncle Bob. "I wish I could fly my aeroplane in the park," said Georgie. Now Granny overheard, and she said to Mother, "May I take the children for a short walk in the park before their bedtime? They've been so excited all day. I think perhaps it would be good for them." "Do by all means," answered Mother. "Otherwise I'm afraid they'll never go to sleep tonight." So the twins went with Granny into the park. And they took the toy aeroplane and the sailor doll with them. Granny settled herself on the second seat beyond the gate and began to read a book. But Georgie said, "Come on, Gwenny, let us go to the seventh seat because it's our seventh birthday." They ran very quickly to the seventh seat and sat down at one end laughing. The other end was already occupied by a little girl of about their own age. Such a thin little girl with a pale face and a crutch by her side and one leg done up in bandages. She smiled at them though. Here's a picture of the little girl on the seventh seat of the park bench. "You look very jolly," she said. "Yes, it's our birthday," replied Gwenny. "Why, it's mine too. How old are you?" "7. We are twins. I'm 7 today." "How many presents did you get?" asked Georgie. "We each had 7. No, 8. Uncle Bob gave us these afterwards." "I didn't get any presents," answered the little girl sadly. "Not a single one." "Oh, what a shame," said Gwenny. "Too bad," said Georgie. The twins looked at one another and did some private whispering. Then, "Do please take my aeroplane," said Georgie. "And you must have my sailor doll," said Gwenny. And they put their presents on the little girl's lap. Just at that moment, the great town clock began to chime, and Georgie jumped down, saying, "Come, Gwenny, let us try and run 7 times round the seat while the clock strikes 7." Gwenny followed him at once, and they ran round and round the seat as fast as they possibly could. They finished the 7th circle as the last note chimed from the clock, and they sat down on the seat, panting for breath and very dizzy. Everything seemed to be whirling around them for a minute. When they could see clearly again, they stared in amazement. Some magic had happened, and the little lame girl with the crutch had vanished, and in her place was a lovely little fairy with a wand in her hand. The fairy smiled at their surprise. "You never expected to see me, did you?" she asked. "No," faltered Gwenny. Please, who are you? Asked Georgie. My name's Silver Star, answered the fairy. I couldn't have appeared to you if this hadn't been the day of sevens. You're 7 years old, it's the seventh day of the week, and the seventh month of the year. Both of you have 7 letters in your names: Georgie, Georgie, and Gwennie, Gwennnie. You had each 7 candles on your cake, and 7 cousins came to tea. And you had each 7 birthday presents. If you hadn't given away your 8th present, the spell would have been broken, and you'd never have seen me. Then you came to the 7th seat and ran round it 7 times while the clock struck 7. 7 is my magic number, so here I am. I've a few minutes to spare. Would you like me to take you on a little trip to Fairyland? There's just time. Yes, please, answered the twins, both together. Say 7 sevens make magic luck. 7 sevens make magic luck, repeated the children. The fairy then waved her wand, and immediately Georgie and Gwenny became as small as butterflies. The toy aeroplane was hovering about in the air, with a little sailor doll as pilot. It drew up on the seat. The fairy helped them in, and away they all flew across the park. "Oh, what fun!" exclaimed the twins delightedly. They stopped at the 7th tree in the big avenue of elms, and there they got out. "This is the gate of Fairyland," said Silver Star. "Come along and follow me." She knocked on the side of the tree, and a tiny door was opened, with a funny little gnome, who saluted and told them to enter. They passed down a long tunnel lighted by glowworms, and at the end they found themselves in a beautiful garden full of flowers. The sun was shining brightly here. Tiny fairies were flitting about among bluebells and cowslips, and ethereal, half-transparent children were playing on the green lawns. "Is this Fairyland?" asked Georgie. "Yes, it's my business to help look after this part of it. The bluebells and cowslips are those that children have dropped on the road when they have gathered too many. We pick them up when they fade and bring them here and plant them. Now they can never wither any more." "Who are the children?" asked Gwenny. "They come from the hospital in their dreams. The nurses think they are asleep in the wards, but we go to fetch them and let them play here till it's time for them to go back to their beds. They wake up ever so much stronger and better. That's our secret. Nobody at the hospital knows about it." "May we stay and play too?" begged Gwenny. "Not now, because your granny will be looking for you. Some day you shall come again. I promise you that. Our aeroplane is waiting, and we must hurry away. I managed to give you just a peep at Fairyland because it's your 7th birthday, and I could work my magic. Follow me, children." Silver Star led the way back up the tunnel and through the tiny door of the tree. They stepped into the toy aeroplane and whizzed across the park, and then suddenly everything seemed to be whirling round and round and round, and Georgie and Gwenny found they were sitting on the 7th seat once more. The fairy had vanished, and the little lame girl was there instead with her crutch.